At my age and in my profession, I don't profess to have any extraordinary softness of heart, but I do think, Mr. Armadale, that Miss Neeley's position deserves our sympathy." "I'll do anything to help her!" cried Allan, impulsively. "You don't know, Mr. Pedgift, what reason I have." He checked himself, and confusedly repeated his first words. "I'll do anything," he reiterated earnestly. "Anything in the world to help her." "Do you really mean that, Mr. Armadale? Excuse my asking, but you can very materially help Miss Neeley, if you choose." "How?" asked Allan. "Only tell me how." "By giving me your authority, sir, to protect her from Miss Gwilt." Having fired that shot point blank at his client, the wise lawyer waited a little to let it take its effect before he said any more. Allan's face clouded, and he shifted uneasily from side to side of his chair. "Your son is hard enough to deal with, Mr. Pedgift," he said, "and you are harder than your son." "Thank you, sir," rejoined the ready Pedgift, "in my son's name and my own, for a handsome compliment to the firm. If you wish to be of assistance to Miss Neeley," he went on, more seriously, "I have shown you the way. You can do nothing to quiet her anxiety which I have not done already. As soon as I assured her that no misconception of her conduct existed in your mind, she went away satisfied. Her governess's parting threat doesn't seem to have dwelt on her memory. I can tell you, Mr. Armadale, it dwells on mine. You know my opinion of Miss Gwilt, and you know what Miss Gwilt herself has done this very evening to justify that opinion even in your eyes. May I ask, after all that has passed, whether you think she is the sort of woman who can be trusted to confine herself to empty threats?" The question was a formidable one to answer. Forced steadily back from the position which he had occupied at the outset of the interview by the irresistible pressure of plain facts, Allan began for the first time to show symptoms of yielding on the subject of Miss Gwilt. "Is there no other way of protecting Miss Milroy but the way you have mentioned?" he asked, uneasily. "Do you think the Major would listen to you, sir, if you spoke to him?" asked Pedgift Senior, sarcastically. "I'm rather afraid he wouldn't honor me with his attention. Or perhaps you would prefer alarming Miss Neeley by telling her, in plain words, that we both think her in danger? Or suppose you send me to Miss Gwilt with instructions to inform her that she has done her pupil a cruel injustice. Women are so proverbially ready to listen to reason, and they are so universally disposed to alter their opinions of each other on application, especially when one woman thinks that the other woman has destroyed her prospect of making a good marriage. Don't mind me, Mr. Armadale. I'm only a lawyer, and I can sit waterproof under another shower of Miss Gwilt's tears." "Damn it, Mr. Pedgift, tell me in plain words what you want me to do!" cried Allan, losing his temper at last. "In plain words, Mr. Armadale, I want to keep Miss Gwilt's proceedings privately under view, as long as she stops in this neighborhood. I answer for finding a person who will look after her delicately and discreetly, and I agree to discontinue even this harmless superintendence of her actions, if there isn't good reason shown for continuing it, to your entire satisfaction, in a week's time. I make that moderate proposal, sir, in what I sincerely believe to be Miss Milroy's interest, and I wait for your answer, yes or no." "Can't I have time to consider?" asked Allan, driven to the last helpless expedient of taking refuge in delay. "Certainly, Mr. Armadale, but don't forget, while you are considering, that Miss Milroy is in the habit of walking out alone in your park, innocent of all apprehension of danger, and that Miss Gwilt is perfectly free to take any advantage of that circumstance that Miss Gwilt pleases." "Do as you like!" exclaimed Allan in despair, "and for God's sake, don't torment me any longer. Popular prejudice may deny it, but the profession of the law is a practically Christian profession, in one respect at least. Of all the large collection of ready answers lying in wait for mankind on a lawyer's lips, none is kept in better working order than the soft answer which turneth away wrath." Pedgift Senior rose with the alacrity of youth in his legs, and the wise moderation of age on his tongue. "Many thanks, sir," he said, "for the attention you have bestowed on me. I congratulate you on your decision, and I wish you good evening." This time his indicative snuff-box was not in his hand when he opened the door. and he actually disappeared without coming back for a second postscript. Allan's head sank on his breast when he was finally left alone. If it was only the end of the week, he thought longingly. If I only had Midwinter back again. As that aspiration escaped the client's lips, the lawyer got gaily into his gig. "Hi! Away, old girl!" cried Pedgift Senior, patting the fast-trotting mare with the end of his whip. "I never keep a lady waiting, and I've got business tonight with one of your own sex." End of Chapter 6. Recording by Michael Anthony Petronic. www.voiceoftemptation.biz